What I wanted to talk about, I wanted to walk through the review request capabilities of HighLevel and being able to use HighLevel as a way to build a large amount of reviews on your Google My Business profile specifically, being able to do that really quickly. And so I want to show you how we go about doing this, because it's actually not using the native functionality for review requests that's built into HighLevel. There's a couple of reasons why I don't like to use that that I'll go over, but we actually create our own custom workflows for requesting reviews, and I'll show you why. So like I said, what I want to talk about first is reputation management, basically using HighLevel as a way to get a high volume of reviews in a short amount of time. And so that's what we're going to talk about here. Now, inside every HighLevel account, if your agency has this feature enabled, which they should, there is a reputation section. It allows you to oversee your efforts if you're using the native review request functionality inside of HighLevel. But regardless, it allows you to see like how many reviews you've received, no matter where the source is from. So if somebody like just goes on to Google My Business and leaves you a review, but it doesn't happen from your review request campaign, it'll still log it in here if you have your Google account linked up and your Google My Business profile linked up. So this is where you can kind of see where your reputation is trending, right? Where your reviews are trending. Requests. Now, this is where you have the ability to send review requests. You also, in settings, get the ability to customize your messages and stuff in here. So here's the thing. Here's why I don't recommend using this, is because this is not a workflow builder. Like they give you the option to pre-configure one message and then to repeat that message basically until somebody clicks on the link. Like those are your options for configuration, whether it's email or text message. That's your options for configuration when it comes to creating review requests inside of Go HighLevel's native review request functionality. So what do we do instead? Well, what we did was we just created a workflow in here. Now, again, creating the workflow gives us the ability to implement a little bit more logic. It allows us not only to implement more logic, it allows us to implement like a longer series of messages if we want, if we're going to drop 200 past clients in here, and some of those we haven't talked to in a year or two, we might have a sequence of text messages to kind of warm them up, rather than just sending them a one-off text message. It's like, yo, can I get a review, please? So that is kind of why, like, that's one of the reasons why I would use workflows instead of that review request functionality, is because you have the ability to add multiple messages and create a sequence of messages and mix text messages and emails. It makes way more sense if you're using HighLevel on any with any level of skill or any level of involvement in the account whatsoever. You're going to find the review request functionality of HighLevel super, super limited, and you're going to want to just create something inside of here, inside of your workflows that does the same thing. So I'll show you an example. We have a review collection one right here. We've ran one bulk review collection campaign inside of this account. We've only ran one, and so you're going to see how simple we did it, but also the benefit of the simplicity that we implemented. So you see it right here. First review collection attempt. We sent it to 51 pre-selected clients. We did a little bit of gating, is what we call it, review gating. We did a little bit, but not very much. And so I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we go in here, okay, initial text to get commitment, we're waiting. And then we have a condition to wait for the response. Now, HighLevel has this ability in here to be able to like designate the intent of a reply as a condition. So you can say, if the reply is positive, then do this. If the reply is negative, then do this, or don't do anything at all, which is how we have it set up. So we have, if the reply is positive, then send them a follow-up text. If it's not, don't do anything at all. Okay. Now this is not extremely reliable. I would not. That's why we did a little bit of pre-screening before we uploaded the list in the first place, was because we didn't want somebody to say, yeah, sure, I'd love to leave you a 1-star review, and have that be determined, like have that be determined to be a positive intent because it started with, yeah, sure. And then have that person get a link to our Google My Business profile where they for sure are going to leave a 1-star review at that point. At the point that they warned us, and we still sent them the link. So that is there's 2 layers of gating kind of happening there. A, I'm going to pre-select the clients that I'm going to send this review link to in the first place. And then B, I'm going to, ask them first, are you interested in leaving a review? So this is what this looks like. Okay. Initial text to get commitment. So, hey, contact first name, right? Tanner from Empower here. Tanner's not with us. This shows you how long ago we did this last. Tanner from Empower here. We're doing something we've never done before, asking current and past customers to leave us a review on our Google profile. If I send you the link, would you be willing to take a minute to leave us a review? It'd mean a lot to the whole team. So we send this text message out. Now, the way that we frame this is in such a way that if somebody doesn't want to leave us a positive review, more likely than they're just not going to respond. Okay. And that's what we want. And this is where you have to put yourself in the shoes of the person receiving that message. For loan officers, like, there's a lot of loan officers that have a lot more closed loans than I have closed loan officers that are using our Google Ads management service. There's loan officers out, there's a lot of loan officers out there with 200-300 past clients that they could be asking reviews for. And they don't necessarily want to go one by one and try and remember every experience and handpick the ones that they're going to send this link to. And so, again, this is where you would start to implement more into this. You would increase the number of forks in logic here, right? Initial text to get commitment, and then great. When they say yes, rather than sending them a text that says, thanks, here's the link. Can you let me know when you get a chance to complete it? We're having a little competition in the office with that trigger link. Like, this is how we have it set up, but you might set it up in here to where you say, great, what is, maybe you set it up as a survey up front. Hey, instead of leave us a review on our Google profile, we say, hey, I got a few quick questions about your experience working with me. Would you mind taking a few minutes to answer a couple text messages for me, right? And they say yes. Okay, great. Then we send question number 1, and question number 1 is something like, if it, how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your experience working with me on your mortgage? Be honest, I'm the only one that's going to see this, or something like that, right? And then you get that engagement, and then you can set up again. So if I were to do that, then I could go like this, and I could say, set up another condition, right? So if else is the conditional logic, and I'm going to say contact reply. Okay, so this is true or false. Replied message, right, contains 10, right? Save action. Then we send them the link, right? So you see what I'm saying here? Like, you can make this add more or less resistance based on how sure you are that the person on the other end is going to leave you a 5-star review. So speaking of reviews, speaking of like, where should you be collecting reviews? This is something that I've talked about in the past. It's something that hasn't come up a whole lot lately. I think that there's a lot of loan officers that understand this concept at this point, but I want to share it with you since we're talking about reviews. When I was doing loans as recently as when I was doing loans full time, I've done loans as recently as 2021, doing loans full time as recently as 2017, 18. Zillow reviews was what I was all about. Zillow reviews. And I heard what people said about, they are going, you're feeding your enemy. Like, you don't want somebody else to have control over this, blah, blah, blah. For me, like, it came down to the fact that everybody uses Zillow, right? Now I wouldn't use the same logic today. Today, I think Zillow, maybe it's just how close I am to the issue. But I feel like Zillow has shown themselves to be much more nefarious since 2018 than they were back then. And I definitely wouldn't trust Google to be the one that stores and holds all of my reviews. I definitely wouldn't be sending customers a Zillow link to leave a review at. If you want to leave a review at Zillow, awesome, cool. Like, it can't hurt. But if I'm going to do a review solicitation campaign, there's one place and one place only where I'm sending those reviews, and that is Google My Business. Google My Business, just from my experience, again, I've done loans as recently as 2021, I was doing loans. We had like a little 2-3 person brokerage that we were kind of running to help test out some marketing campaigns and, interaction with Go HighLevel and so on and so forth. And so I witnessed firsthand like how 10 reviews can literally 10 reviews can increase the call flow, the inbound call flow that you get from Google. It's crazy. You don't know how much it's going to affect it. It's going to have a lot to do with like geolocation, where you're at, where people are searching. That has so much to do with who's showing up in those Google My Business listings, is like proximity to where you're searching. So Google doesn't quite understand that like proximity doesn't matter as much to somebody who's searching for a mortgage lender as somebody who's searching for like a good place to eat. Right. And so if somebody searches for a good place to eat, proximity should be a really, really important criteria in the search results. Right. Well, not really with a mortgage lender, but Google doesn't differentiate that yet. Or if they do, they don't do it enough yet to where a mortgage lender proximity, your office's proximity to where somebody is searching is going to make a massive difference in where you show up in those search results, regardless of the number of reviews you have, regardless of the number of reviews your competition has. However, if all else is equal and you're a consumer and you've got one profile with 12 5-star reviews and a 5-star average, and you have another profile that has 390 reviews with a 4.9 star average, which one are you going to choose? It's not that hard. You probably make this decision every single day when it comes to other buying decisions that you make. Well, people still do think about mortgages like this, especially if they get far enough in the buying process, which not many people get to this point, but if they get far enough in the buying process without getting sold by a loan officer, that they are literally searching for a loan officer to pick up the phone and call and talk to, that's like the hottest possible lead that you can get. And B, they're going to be looking for the person that gives them the warm and fuzzies the best virtually, right? Which the only thing you can do in this case is to show off how amazing your service is through reviews, pictures and videos on your Google My Business profile. This is super valuable if you've got pictures like culture-like videos or culture-like pictures of your team, working in the office, a headshot if you're an individual, but maybe something a little bit more casual than that as well. All these things are super good. And yeah, anyways, optimize your Google My Business profile. It doesn't take a whole lot. Chris Johnstone, actually, he's not in this group. I think I invited him. Competitors think that like I have some sort of ulterior motive inviting them into this group. But really it's about Go HighLevel and expanding access to it as much as possible. But anyways, Chris is a great dude. He's had me on his podcast. I probably just need to reach out and talk to him personally about it. But Chris has been talking a lot about Google My Business profile optimization, SEO using AI. I don't know a ton about what he's doing with that. I do know that I've talked to him enough to know that he knows his shit, and that if he says something is really, really cool, really, really powerful, it probably is. So worth checking out if you're wanting to improve that Google My Business presence. But like I said, if you aren't prepared to go out and solicit reviews from your past clients, I wouldn't worry too much about the rest of your profile, because it's not going to do you much good. But if you're willing to do a campaign like this, put something together like this and get as many reviews as possible, then it can be really positive. I've seen people who are working a lot of internet leads. I've seen people that take like a consultative approach with people that don't qualify, and they put together a pre-approval game plan. Like I've seen them use this as a way to get more reviews of like, hey, you know what, no problem. You definitely have some work to do before we're going to be able to move forward. But I've got no problem helping you out with that. Hey, if I'm able to put together a game plan that sounds good to you and sounds good to me, and we're able to put you on a roadmap to buying a house in the next 6 months, do you think that'd be something that is worth leaving a Google review for? And just kind of like pre-frame it like that, right? And then from there, being able to, at the point that they do, give them a roadmap, put them in a credit repair system, whatever, leave a raving fan type of experience. Even before the point of closing the loan, they're able to ask for a review and boost that presence. So really cool stuff there. This is one of the most underutilized. I think I say that a lot. There's a lot of underutilized components components of Go High Level, but using it as a way to build your Google My Business profile presence with reviews is definitely one of the most under leveraged plays inside of HighLevel. So that is how we use it. That's how we coach our LOs to use it. Again, now I said the term review gating earlier. I want to clarify something. The act of review gating is against Google's terms of service. I don't know if they would look at what we're doing and say that that's against their terms of service. But what I can tell you is that there's no way that they would ever know that that's happening. Review gating, it used to be that you had every review management software out there had a process of like asking for your review first, asking like what your review is, what you're rating, almost like that 1 to 10. Hey, how would you rate your experience 1 to 10? And then sending the follow-up link. You had apps that would collect the review and the stars and the description. And then based on that, they would then redirect you to Google to leave it there and paste the information over there. That is review gating. Google does not like that, but you can implement ways to kind of filter reviews. I got a comment to check on here in a second. You can implement ways to filter your reviews, based on intent is the way I would put it. So let's see. I was about to ask about review gating. I think what they mean is you shouldn't send them to exactly. So JD, that's exactly right. We were talking that's kind of what I was talking about, is the apps that were like a pre-review review kind of thing. And when it's an app and it's a software that you're using to do it, it's really easy for Google to track like who is doing that and who isn't. When you're talking about implementing this into your process or into a workflow inside of here, like, I mean, what's the difference between that and like manually reaching out to people and saying, hey, would you leave me, would you be willing to leave me a 5-star review? And if they say yes, you ask them to actually do it. If they say no, you say, "Aw," and you move on, right? Like if that's what you do, like you're technically review gating at that point. And that's exactly what I was saying, JD, is I don't think that that's what Google is really looking for when they make that policy. I think what they're looking for is technology that is designed to solicit a review and then only redirect you to a review posting site if that review is positive. Do I ask? Yeah. Seems like they actively discourage. Oh, interesting. Yelp actively discourages that. I did not know that. Or are you saying that because Yelp is like filtering your reviews? Because I know that Yelp is really notorious. By the way, I'm talking to JD in the Facebook Live comments here. Thank you for commenting in. JD, are you saying that they're actively discouraging by like making those reviews not recommended? Like they, because when you scroll down to Yelp, if we go to Yelp and we go Yelp, Yelp doesn't want people to actively ask for reviews. I got to imagine that that all has to do with their pay to play system. Like they want verified Yelp customers that come through their like lead program to leave reviews, and then they're going to make it so that you as a business owner don't have a way of competing with people that are paying for their leads. That's my take on that. So what I would say is with Yelp, now here's the thing. Yelp approached us about advertising, about offering advertising services to our clients a while ago. We did some research into it. Like there's not a lot of people doing that. There's not a lot of people that are paying Yelp at this point. I think there could be some meat on that bone. Like it's probably market specific. I'm sure in a lot, and there's some markets out there where it's hard to get in or, stupid expensive or something like that. But like I would be, if I was a loan officer right now, I would give Yelp a shot. And I would play by whatever rules they wanted me to. But no, I didn't know that, JD, that they that they don't want you asking for reviews. Like I said, I think I would imagine that has something to do with like, they just want to keep their ecosystem limited to like the verified customers and like the network of money exchange that they have going on. That's the only thing that I could think of and why they would advocate that. You would think that You would think that a bunch of professionals asking their customers for reviews on your platform would be good for your platform overall. Like I would think, but yeah, weird. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing that. That's interesting. Do you do JD, but before you hop off, if you plan on it, do you do anything like do any advertising on Yelp right now? Or are you just asking this from a like you have a Yelp listing standpoint and you're wondering if you should boost, you should be boosting the review presence on those? Because my answer will, I mean, if Yelp's telling you not to do it, then like I said, you're going to see where it doesn't do you any good to do it. If I look up mortgage lenders, was not worth it for me. Thanks for sharing. Okay. So if I go in here, doesn't know. Oh, San Francisco, California. Let's go current location. All right. They don't know where I'm at, apparently. Let's go, Meridian, Idaho. Okay. So we've got some sponsored results up here. All right. So first off, look how few reviews all these guys have compared to, compared to on Google, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, always, man. JD, always. I'm sorry, I didn't extend the personal invite, but yeah, dude, if you can join the Zoom call, that's a much better way to engage, and I would appreciate it. Happy to go over any questions that you have or anything else that you want to talk about too. All right. The link should be, if you don't have the link should be in the description. But anyways, what I wanted to show here is okay, so check this out. So First Choice Mortgage Company, right? They were number 1 in the area. They're claimed verified profile. They've got 5-star reviews. But check this out. So they have these 5-star reviews, 70 other reviews that are not currently recommended. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I say, like, if Yelp tells you not to do something, like you probably just shouldn't do it, because it's going to be a waste of your fucking time anyways. When you go into this, I mean, these are like, okay, so they had a 1-star review in 2017, but most of these are 5-star reviews. And if you read them, they're solid. They're way better than a lot of reviews I end up reading on Google. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is like when we're shopping for food, like I don't even check Yelp anymore. Yelp used to be one of the spots that we would look, or maybe I use it to like find spots, but I never trust the reviews. I never trust the reviews on Yelp because of this shit right here. Like how can you gate, or how can you restrict that many reviews? That's pretty crazy. I realized I have to let here, let me check here. Oh, there we go. Boom. JD just entered the waiting room. JD, thanks for hopping in. If you can hear me.
My pleasure.
How you doing, man?
Good.
So you used Yelp. How long ago was that?
Actually a few months ago. I stopped. I was let's just say it started a couple of years ago when I was working with a realtor. He was actually getting great results, but that's spending at least $5,000 per month, and he upped it to like 10,000.
Gotcha.
You have to have a solid follow-up system with that. But the thing is, there's no lead tracking, at least not as robust as most other platforms.
Yeah.
You can't send people to a landing page, at least not that I was able to find. And so It has its own works.
So they like they basically just send you an email letting you know that you had somebody, you have a new lead or whatever.
They send you an email, or they send you in their business platform on the back end. They show you people that reached out to you. And they have this thing where people can request a quote. So it's one of those things where you get a random, not a text, but it's through their business app. Somebody's asking you questions, but you don't know who they are or contact information. So you can't necessarily do more follow-up besides that. So they consider it a success. They consider it a good lead, but you're limited to that contact, and that's it.
Interesting. Interesting. And are you able, do they discourage you from pulling the conversation out of that too?
They don't, but they don't do that. At least I haven't experienced it.
Okay.
But for what I was spending, like if you're spending $500 a month, and in my market apparently it's not a lot, you're not going to get enough leads to where it even makes sense.
Right. Right. And that,
Because
and we tell, I mean, we tell people, clients, the same thing when they come on board for the Google Ads service. Like, but before a certain amount of lead volume, like you're not going to integrate it into your processes. You're not going to like, you're not going to get enough volume to get the conversions that will give you the positive feedback loop that keeps you excited and keeps you kind of working on it. So I could see why, $500 turns into 3 or 4 leads and you have to log into their freaking platform to be able to talk to them and stuff. I could see why that's not worth
it was
it.
a more of a let's dip our toes in there to see what type of leads or how they work.
Right.
So I wasn't going into it expecting the moon and the stars,
Right.
but the way it was coming in, it was the types of people that were contacting me, or let's just say what they were seeking, and the limited contact information that you get, it was not worth it. So I can get 4 leads and then keep in touch with them for the whole year and then close a loan. That's fine.
Right.
But you can't do that.
Oh, okay.
You can't do a long-term
Gotcha.
nurture.
Interesting. Interesting. So I assume then, since you're in this group, that you're using Go HighLevel for long-term nurture for a different lead source, maybe, or for your current book of business. I mean, what's your interaction with Go HighLevel right now?
A little bit of both. I basically am resetting up my entire system. And so I've been taking a pause because of all the Twilio stuff with A2P 10 DLC.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like reactivation campaigns are dead, at least for now. Can't do that. I'm finding out a way to do SMS verification, like 2-factor authentication, on
Yeah.
my forms, on my surveys and everything, and I have that done.
Just to keep your delivery rates as high as possible.
Yeah, and to stop wasting time.
Right.
So if somebody has
Yeah.
to fill out a form and they receive the actual code and they don't enter the right code, they don't become a lead.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Where's the traffic? Where's the traffic coming from that makes you want to filter it on that level?
That would be for mostly Facebook ads.
Cool. I like
I have
that a
not
lot.
cracked the Google ads yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy. Oh, well, I guess it depends on your personality, man. I don't like some people are wizards with Facebook ads. I like want to pull my hair out every time I log into Facebook ads and do anything with it. And I do it often. We run a lot of Facebook ads for Empower.
Oh, I know.
But I know he says, yeah, no shit. Sorry about that.
That's cool. It
Thanks
works.
for not blocking or reporting. No, I do a lot with Facebook ads, but every time I log in, there's something about people's search behavior that is easier for me to wrap my mind around than like trying to woo them in their newsfeed. But that's just me.
Disruptive marketing versus intent marketing.
Yep. Amen. Amen. Cool, man. Thanks for hopping on, JD. I appreciate that.
No
What's
worries.
how do you have your a couple questions. A2P, are you like, do you have a successful campaign registration and stuff? Are you
Not yet.
you haven't been able to get that
I'm
far?
I'm more of the geek on the back end with
Mm,
my own agency account.
okay.
Tried the whole agency thing. Probably not for me. The sales part of trying to offer services, not for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
That's not
I'm the
fun.
geek on the back end and set up systems on the back end for that. So I've been wanting to set up A2P, but since I don't own the brokerage, I didn't want to put the EIN numbers in anything. And then I saw your live a couple weeks ago, so now I'm going to reset up
Now
everything.
that they have the sole proprietor one with where you don't need an EIN.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So I'm getting back and hopefully send some traffic to my funnels, and we'll go from there.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, let us like keep me posted. Let us know how we can support you in any way with that, man. Like I said, like at this point, I have just gone all in on the idea that like Go High Level is the only marketing platform for the mortgage industry right now. Like anybody using anything else right now is you know is not screwing themselves yet, but they're definitely going into a fight with one hand tied behind their back. And so anything that I can do to help you get down the road quicker and be using the platform even more quicker, I'd love to be a part of it. So that A2P shit, dude, we've spent so many hours internally trying to figure out our solutions. We still aren't we're still not 100%. We still submit campaign registrations that get rejected that we have to resubmit a different way to get approved. But we have our workarounds, and we have, we're launching clients every day. So if there's anything we can help out with, let me know.
Well, if you want, I'm willing to share my SMS verification stuff with you, so we can talk offline.
Yeah,
Send me
man.
a
Let's do
message.
it. Yeah, I'll shoot you a message. We'll schedule a time to get on another Zoom call.
Cool, man. Well,
Oh
I'll
yeah,
let you go. Let you
appreciate you,
finish your thing.
JD. Yeah, thanks for hopping on. Appreciate it.
All right, later.
Hell yeah, cool. Love that. Let me see. It doesn't look like we had anybody else. Oh man, I'm so appreciative of JD hopping on like that. That's awesome. Okay, guys, that's it. That's what I got for you guys. We talked a lot about reviews. We talked a lot about like different platforms for reviews. We talked a little bit about how Yelp kind of sucks for mortgage lenders that don't want to spend a ton of money, and even might not be that great if you do want to spend a ton of money. That was a cool little candid conversation there. We talked a little bit about A2P. And yeah, that's it for the live stream. Again, thank you to JD for hopping on and giving us a little bit of engagement there, first in the comments and then on the Zoom call. Guys, that's what this is for. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the top.